Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Patrick here, and I just wanted to make a nice, quick and easy meal. I'm going to do some chicken and some carrots. Trying to avoid the starches there. This is a diabetic-friendly meal. So let's begin. You keep your chicken in the fridge. Always keep it in the fridge. Make sure it's fully thawed out. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take out my chicken. Got my chicken inside of a bag, and as you see, there's a lot of liquid with this chicken. I'm just going to put it straight into the sink and work with it inside of the sink. So let me whip out my cutting board. And whenever you're working with chicken, you want to make sure you wash the chicken. You never know what could be on the surface of the chicken, so just give it a nice light wash. And this chicken right here is pretty thin, but I'm actually going to cut it in half. Shake the chicken off. Here we go here. So you can see this chicken is very, very thin, and it's a little fatty as well. So I'm going to go take a very sharp knife and go ahead and cut it a little bit. All right, get that fat off of there. Got a little bit of fat right here. And what I typically like to do is I will slice it right down the middle and make two halves out of one chicken breast. So go ahead and slice it right down the middle. Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. This knife I just sharpened here. There we go there. You want to make sure that it's nice and consistent thickness. You don't want to have too thick of a chicken on here. I have a garbage disposal, that's why I'm throwing the chicken bits into the sink. We do have a little bit here that I can cut off here. And you see I'm cutting away from myself. That's really what you want to do. So you don't want to cut towards yourself or risk that there. Okay. All right, so the chicken is a nice thin consistency right here. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and throw it straight onto the plate here. So you can see here, it's on a plate. And I got a couple more pieces of chicken, so I'm just going to quickly go through and do that. Actually, that's a pretty good thickness right there. Here's a nice meatier piece of chicken here. Find out where all the fat is at. Make sure it's a nice lean piece. And go ahead and cut into it here. So now we have two evenly thick pieces of chicken with one chicken breast. And I have one more piece in the bag here. This one has a little more fat on it, so give me 1 second to trim it off here. Fat makes it stringy. You really don't want a stringy piece of chicken, you want a nice lean piece of chicken. And this one is thinner, so I'm going to make sure I get into it. And you notice I'm angling the blade downward, putting it at a cant downward towards the cutting board. That way I'm not going to cut myself, or at least avoid cutting myself. Knife is not that sharp. It's pretty sharp, but it's not 100% sharp. Okay, let me get rid of this fatty end right here. Sliced chicken breasts are about the same size to move my griddle into position. Now, you want to turn on the griddle. I usually put it on medium heat, which is anywhere between 325 to 350. Start by pre-opening the cans. I use a cloth that I discard afterwards, or I actually wash them afterwards. And in fact, let me take out one more cloth right here. That way when it comes to cleaning up, you're not putting raw chicken juice onto your spices. I'm going to start off with this Italian Blast. All right. Take a piece of chicken breast here. It's already been washed off and whatnot. I'm going to add a generous amount of seasoning onto this chicken breast here. I do it on one side in my hand, as you guys can see there. Okay. And I'll do the other side. Since I have 6 pieces of chicken and I got 3 different flavors, I'm just going to do a second piece of chicken with the same flavor here. The pepper is starting to aggravate me. All right. Notice I didn't touch it. This is my chicken hand. This is my clean hand. So keeping it all the same there. This second chicken, I'm going to use my roasted garlic and herb seasoning. It's really a grill seasoning. I picked this up at Aldi's. Very good seasoning. I really like this seasoning. You'll see. Generous amount. Okay. And I'll do a couple of these small pieces with the same. And on this next one, I'm going to use adobo, seasoned salt, and garlic. So let's go ahead and put this in my hand. What I like to do when I season my chicken, depending on the color of the seasoning, so obviously garlic and onion powder have the same color. So what I like to do is stagger them, okay, as much as you can. As you see here, I'm opening everything up. Okay, first I'm going to add the garlic. Garlic is going to be a yellow or a white color. Then I'm going to add my seasoned salt. That's going to be an orange color. Then I'll add my onion powder. Then I'll add my adobo. Now, same thing. And you can see how well you season it when you do it this way. Now these last 2 pieces, these 2 pieces are very small. Let's go with just a plain old garlic. This is the garlic herb I was talking about earlier. Perfect. So I went ahead and took out my olive oil here. Olive oil is a great thing. I mean, if you have your temperature set correctly and you're using the right type of meat, it really does a great job. And what I'll do is I'll put it on the top side of it, just a drizzle, small amount. That was a bit much there. A nice small amount. And that will give your chicken some flavor, especially when you cook it. Now, it's always interesting when you watch food cook. If you have your temperature set correctly, it shouldn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and flip this and flip the chicken here. And it's all relatively done. I wouldn't quite eat it quite yet, but chicken is very forgiving. If you cook it right, it's very, very forgiving. If you cook it incorrectly, well, it's not. Okay? So what you saw there is I just flipped the chicken, and now all the chicken is on the other side that needs to cook through. And what I'll do is I'll flip it one more time, and that will give me a chance to make sure that it's nice and cooked. In the meantime, I'm going to get my water started. All right, folks, now I added some water. Let me add just a little bit more water into the pan for the carrots. That should be enough right there. That's a handful of cups in there. Probably like 2 or 3 cups worth. I'm just adding it into the pan. And I might have my steamer, my cover. Got it set on high all the way up. And I'm going to steam these carrots. So I bought a bag of baby carrots. They're, cut carrots. They're locally grown here in Georgia. See that steam? That means that the water is now ready to steam my carrots. I'm going to add about half a bag of carrots. That's about half a bag right there. And I'll cover it up with my lid. Back over to the carrots here. So they've been boiling, or they've been in the steamer for approximately 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes, like 12 minutes or so. And you can see here that they are nice. They should be done. Let's go ahead and take a fork. Get the fork through the carrot nice and easily. Even the bigger ones are done. So at this point, they're just about ready to come off of here. And so what I do with my little steaming plate, so I'll put it aside. Check all this water. Turn the burner off. Dump the water. Actually, going to rotate this here. I'll pour the carrots inside of the container I just used for the water. What I'm adding here is just under a tablespoon of butter. You don't have to use butter, you can use olive oil. Sometimes you can even use this stuff here. And this is what I do when my vegan friends come over. This is actually a vegan oil that you can use, and it tastes like butter. I recommend it. There's no milk in it or any type of products that makes it non-vegan. Always, guys, add some garlic powder. Just a little bit. I add a little bit of pepper there. Makes it taste a little bit better. Now, if you have kids, sometimes you can add honey. I just don't add honey. I try to keep it as healthy as can be. But carrots are done. My chicken is just about done here, and I'm just going to take it off the griddle. I'm going to take off these small pieces here and just throw them aside here. Get those aside. Yep, that one's done there. And I know these 2 pieces here still needed a minute. This piece I'm going to put on my plate right here. piece is done. All right. So we could turn the griddle off now. So I have some of the carrots, which are nicely seasoned inside of here. I know you probably can't see in there. There we go, right there. And I'll just add a few to the plate. I did about half that. And bon appetit.